totally out of context.
I don't know. You tell me whether the stuff with The Apprentice was, it can be excused, Guy, as he was an entertainer then, because the thing is, these people were seeking a professional position with the Trump organization. I mean, this is the reason why I included a line about what he said to one Celebrity Apprentice contestant in my debate question in August of 15. It wasn't just an entertainment show. It was also a show in which these young women in particular were seeking professional opportunities.
Yeah, although it's also reality television and Donald Trump. It'd be like someone showing up on The Bachelor and being like, oh my gosh, there are people drinking alcohol and having sex on this show. I can't believe it.
But do you think these women were signing up to be told that their boobs weren't big enough?
No, I don't think so, but I'm also, of course, I'm not going to defend him on that, but does it move a single vote, Megyn, at this point? We've heard it, starting really with your question in that debate. Ever since then, we know a barrage of ads from Hillary Clinton, all the nasty things he said about women. This is maybe just one more AP investigation into what he said around, you know, basically the locker room or the water cooler at The
And why
Apprentice.
didn't they do it back in August of 15? I mean, it was highlighted in a debate question that was seen around the world. Where was the AP in August or September of 15? You tell me, Steiwalt, why it's not until October 30, whatever it was, days before the election, that they come out with it.
Right, and Jeb Bush is somewhere making himself a malted milkshake and wondering the same thing. And so is Marco Rubio.
Wait.
And so are
Can I just interrupt you to prove your... We have Ted Cruz, who took a moment from crying in the soup to say this. Actually, it was March 6th. Watch.
Listen, frankly, one of the reasons the media wants Donald to be the nominee is because the media knows Donald can't win the general, that Hillary would wallop him. And all of the attacks on Donald that the media is not talking about now, you better believe come September, October, November, if he were the nominee, every day on the nightly news would be taking Donald apart. I can't tell you how many media outlets I hear, you know, have this great expose on Donald, on different aspects of his business dealings or his past, but they said, you know what? We're going to hold it to June or July. We're not going to run it now.
You're saying reporters have told you that?
Absolutely.
Go ahead, Chris.
I mean, whether or not they planned it, I'm sure that as the single tear that rolled down Ted Cruz's face as he wrote the Facebook post and saying that internet regulation was reason enough for him to back Donald Trump or whatever, I'm sure it's hard. I'm sure times are sad. But the reality here is that they rode the wave. The press rode the wave of Donald Trump, clicks and coverage and celebrity, and did all of this stuff. And then now, and I think Cruz is very right about this, now it's serious. Now it's October. Now this is a person who many in the press and many in the mainstream say is totally unacceptable, so they're just now starting to unload on him, and it's not going to end until the election.
Howie, what do you make of the charges that the New York Times is being hypocritical because they refused to produce or to print these emails relating to that undermined sort of the left's argument on climate change because they said to do so would be illegal because they were illegally obtained, but they had no problem doing it to Trump?
I'm less concerned about that because the Times did do a front-page story about those emails, even though they didn't print the emails. I see the greater hypocrisy as being the New York Times company didn't pay any taxes in 2014.
Well, there's a question about that.
Donald Trump didn't, taking a legitimate deduction.
There's a question about that. Sometimes reporters are pushing back on that tonight, but go ahead.
Yeah, but it seems to me that, you know, you have of sheer volume of stuff being thrown at Donald Trump, some of it legitimate, some of it not, some of it self-inflicted wounds, and it's just complete imbalance with the scrutiny being given to Hillary Clinton. And then you also have the cultural aspect here, Megyn. So it's not just news organizations, but it's celebrities, most of the late-night comics, Kimmel, Samantha Bee, John Oliver, Seth Meyers, Stephen Colbert, turning serious to attack Donald Trump, Jennifer Lawrence saying it'll be the end of the world if he wins the election. So there's an effort here, I think, and some of it's intentional and some not, to kind of paint him as being outside the bounds of acceptability.
Well,
and
that's the thing. I mean, guys, all those people were always, I mean, Jon Stewart was never going to vote for Mitt Romney, right, back when he was doing the late-night stuff. So that's not unusual to have the late-night folks be against the Republican nominee. What's unusual here is that there's a lot of fodder with respect to Trump. And in his defense, he has spent his lifetime not as a politician watching every word he says. I mean, there's a lot of fodder because he's a fodder-producing machine. You know, he's an unusual character, and he's a dynamic character, and a lot of that stuff on Howard Stern and so on was done with the intention of being a provocateur.
You could call him a tremendous fodder factory, in fact, Megyn. But yeah, and some of it you have to separate, and part of our job is to separate what's real and what's legitimate to talk about and what's silly season. There was one thing making the rounds today. I think Joe Biden attacked Donald Trump for supposedly demeaning veterans with PTSD, and Trump did nothing of the sort. They latched onto one word and turned it into a fake controversy. So it's kitchen sink time.
That's right. They're suggesting that Donald Trump took a shot at veterans suffering from PTSD. Everybody on our team looked at the tape. If you watch the soundbite in context, it doesn't appear at all that he's doing that at all.
Exactly.
In fact, he means to be paying a compliment to the strength of those in the room. In any event, there's so much to talk about. We barely scratched the surface. Great to see you all.